Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is September 5th, 2020, and this is episode 82. Okay, we're going to take a look at EngineWard today. You might hear a little noise in the background. It's actually raining pretty good outside. This is a Vault comic, number 1, for $3.99, all right? And we show this nice cover of this gentleman with a crossbow taking on this centipede dinosaur dragon looking thing. Actually, I love this comic so far. There's 3 things I want to mention real quick that had come up that kind of bothered me a little, and I don't know if they'll ever see this, but if they worked on this, I think it would be even better. An EngineWard is somebody that is mechanically inclined, that could fix, obviously, engines, or anything in mechanical, electronic. And in this case, this character that's the EngineWard is a woman. And not unlike Kaylee Fry from The Firefly, if you remember her character, she took care of the engines on The Firefly. So let's get into this a little bit real quick. Actually, this cover, it actually happens in the story, so that's kind of cool for once. This was written by George Mann. The art is by Joe Eisma, and it's colored by Michael Garland. Let's go back real quick because it gives you a little bit of rundown on character Josh, who's the EngineWard, the female here. It says, now the word of the godlike celestials is absolute, and they rule with brutal efficiency. When Josh, an EngineWard, discovers and reactivates the head of an ancient golem, she finds it is not all that is intended. Her destiny and that of her world lies somewhere far beyond the borders of her shanty town. So let's get into this. It starts out, and you can see the art is pretty good. It's pretty capable. They're actually at where a battle had taken place. The whole planet is kind of desolate because of this war that took place and just kind of wiped everything out. So they're kind of scavenging, almost like an archaeological dig here, scavenging parts and things, and they find this strange, they think it's a fossil, but it turns out it's actually a robot head, or what they call a golem head. So here we got this nice shot of the site that they are digging up. There's a guy up there giving this guy a hard time. This is actually the main character, not the main character, but the main character is Ichabod. And as you can see, they've got a cart and they use beasts to pull these carts. There's nothing, no cars, nothing like that. Everything is animal drawn or human powered. They do have a lot of technology on there, so there's a little bit of that going on, kind of a wasteland, but they do have some technology. So you can see this battle scene. This guy's giving Ichabod a hard time. Suddenly, the monster pops up and chomps on the guy giving Ichabod a hard time. Now, they got this kind of narration in here. Here's some here. There's some here, and it's slow, and it's biblical, and it kind of is talking about things that are not easy to understand, and it kind of gets in the way of the story, because the story flows pretty quick on these 20 pages. However, having those, it didn't really help. Also, some of the profanity in the first 5 pages is totally unnecessary, because this guy's like a Han Solo, and they got him cussing. So I don't like that. I think he's such a likable character. It kind of hurts his character, honestly, because he's profanity for the rest of the book, just a couple pages in. So it's a fun book. Other than that, you could read it with your kids, except for that. So anyway, they were able to strategize and take down this monster with the loss of only one, and they head back to the shanty town, which is made up of like containers and just kind of junk that I believe that they've scavenged. And this is where we meet Josh, the EngineWard, and she's working on a robot that is reported to her that he's malfunctioning. She can't find anything wrong, so there might be something a little bit going on there that behind the scenes, because he checks out mechanically. And then this gent shows up and tells her that the water pumps in town aren't working, and she's, I guess, the only person that can really fix it. And the people are they're thirsting for water, they're dehydrating quickly, and there just isn't enough water to go around. So they're going to shut off the pumps if she can't fix them. So she says she'll take a look at them. She seems to be pretty revered throughout the city here. Then we finally get to what they call the Celestials. And these are the ones, these guys with the masks, or they have like an arm or something that's in armor. Like this woman here's looks like an arm and a leg and a partial facial mask. They're kind of running the planet. And these other people in the scene here are kind of their slaves, very hedonistic setting here. They get to have everything they want. People are dying of thirst outside, and this guy's just swimming in it with all his concubines and whatnot. So he gets pulled away. He's very upset about that because he was just getting started, basically, with his fun for the day. And he goes to meet the group, the other Celestials. See this nice palace here compared to the shanty town. And it seems to be based on the zodiac. Something to do with that. Maybe all 12 signs. There might be all 12 of them together. I never counted them. And they've got the planets up here aligned as well. So they're cooking up something, and they control the planet right now. And I guess they're not doing a very good job of it, is what I'm thinking. It's not spelled out yet. So Ichabod gets back into town. Josh is very happy to see him, as you can see here. I think she's got a crush on him. He's not really aware of it, kind of. He's a little shocked. But anyway, he's got the golem head for him, the robot head. And the little teasing goes on. And here's one of the other things I kind of didn't like. There's a bunch of Dutch, is it Dutch angles or Dutch corners? Let me see if I can find, like here. I'm not sure what you call it. But usually those are used to signify like distress or something ominous or something disorienting. And they're using just like a regular scene here, and it doesn't seem to really fit. And he uses it quite a bit. Some places to a lesser degree, it's not as noticeable. But anyway, Ichabod hands over the golem robot head, and she's able to start it up a little bit. It's speaking disjointedly, and it's giving her kind of a message, but they can't quite make it out. And the computer that they're using says, "Connection made, remote slave unit now active." And that's the way the first issue ends. It's not really a spoiler, so to speak. It's just more of a setup here. And then they give you the cover for the next issue featuring a Celestial on it. So yeah, I was very interested in this. It was a fun comic. It read really quickly, except for the narration, which kind of got in the way of the flow. I'm still going to stick with it. I'm hoping the rest of them are going to be as good as this one started out to be. And if you like sci-fi fantasy, I think you'd like this comic. So please subscribe, please like, please comment. I'd love to hear what you got to say. And have a great Labor Day weekend. If you see this while it's still Labor Day weekend, I've still got about I don't know how many reviews left to do. Plus, I have one DC previews to do for books arriving in November 2020, and I'll get that done hopefully today. It's a little bit different format than this. So I really appreciate you stopping by. Please subscribe. Love to get new subscriptions, and you'll be staying in touch with the latest independent comics. Plus, I do some DC and Marvel if they're good, if I can find ones that are good. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by the Temple of Tomes. This is Indie Comics Jones. I bid you adieu. Take care.